Hello and welcome to a very bright and sunny Carlisle. If you have been following my videos, you will know that 2 weeks ago I walked the first stage of the Hadrian's Wall path from Bowness on Solway to Carlisle, and today I'm planning to do the second stage of the path from Carlisle to the village of Walton, which is not far from Brampton. So I'm starting here in Carlisle where I live, and when I did the walk to Carlisle a couple of weeks ago, I got into Carlisle late, so I wasn't able to film the castle or much of Carlisle itself. But I'm starting here at the castle, constructed in 1092 by William II of England. This was the son of William the Conqueror, and then 1122 they built the stone keep, the stone castle that you see behind me. And when this castle was built, when it was constructed, Cumberland, the county of Cumberland where I am, used to be part of Scotland, and this castle has played an interesting part in the history of this country. It's been fought over many times, and the border of England and Scotland has moved a lot. So there have been times when Carlisle has been in Scotland, and periods of history when it's England, and of course today we are now in England. The border of Scotland is 8 miles to our north, but a fascinating castle, well worth coming to look around and explore. So I'm now walking through Bitts Park, which is a beautiful park in the centre of the city. Sorry, there workmen are clearing up leaves and so forth, so it's a little bit noisy, but beautiful little park in the centre of Carlisle. And Carlisle in Roman times was known as Lugu Vallium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but an important Roman settlement over 2,000 years ago. So this building behind me is the Sand Centre. This is where I actually finished my walk last time when I went from Bowness and Solway. The Sand Centre has got a big swimming pool, a gym in there, but it's also where they hold concerts and theatre events and so forth. Unfortunately, it's closed at the moment because they discovered it's got aerated concrete in the building, so they've closed the building. It's been closed for quite a few months, and it's not going to reopen until next year, but all the major musical events and so forth take place in the Sand Centre. That's where your well-known comedians will come and perform. But this is really where the walk on this stage of the Hadrian's Wall path begins, here at the Sand Centre. And if I just turn around, you can see the River Eden behind me, and just across the River Eden on the embankment where St Michael's Church Stanwix now stands, that was the location of the largest Roman fort that was on Hadrian's Wall. So the largest fort was based just here across the river in Carlisle. So sitting next to Jesse is this monument, I don't know, or sculpture, and what it shows is the forts along Hadrian's Wall. So here is Bowness on Solway, where I began the walk last time. Drumbruff, Bruff by Sands, and Stanwix and Carlisle. So here we are, and you can see the old Roman names. And if I follow it along, you can see where we're going. So today, going to Castle Steads, then you've got Bird Oswald, and so forth. So it shows you all the main sites. Chester's is a major fort in Northumberland, and then all the way here to Newcastle, and finishing at Wallsend and then South Shields. So that displays the main forts, the main towns along Hadrian's Wall in Roman times. One of the lovely things about Carlisle is that it's a small city, population of the city itself. The main city is about 75,000 people. The city boundaries actually extend all the way up to Scotland and down to the Lake District, so if you take into account all the towns and villages that technically lie within the city boundaries, the population's around 120,000. So it's a very small place. People know one another, but also the other lovely thing about it is that you're just a few minutes away from the countryside wherever you are in the city, and just walking through the park here, I'm right in the centre, but you feel like you're out in the country already. It's lovely, really beautiful spot. And just beside me, this section of park here used to be a golf course, and the council are now turning that into a wildflower meadow to try and encourage and attract wildlife. And on the other side of the river, which you can't see maybe terribly clearly, is Rickaby Park, and our Cenotaph War Memorial is just across the river over there. So behind me there is this interesting tower which is sat in the middle of the field. There's no information, so I don't know what its provenance is, what period it dates from. You can walk into it, although there's not much to see, but if you know what this tower is, its history, then please do comment below. I'd be really interested to find out more about it. You may just be able to make out some houses in the distance across the fields, probably about 3/4 of a mile away from where I am at the moment. And those houses are built on a small hill, and they are following what once was the line of Hadrian's Wall. So as you might be able to tell from the noise behind me, I'm just crossing over the M6. So I've just arrived in Crosby on Eden and come across a bus stop that has been turned into a book library, so let me show it to you. The dog doesn't come with the bus stop, but look at this. All these books here that you can presumably just pick up and take away with you, and if you've got your own book and you've finished it and want to leave it here for someone else, presumably can do. It's a great idea. The village has also got a very nice looking pub here, so I don't know if they serve food, but it looks a decent pub. If you watch my video when I was walking from Bowness-on-Solway to Carlisle, you will have heard me mention that there aren't any visible remains of the wall until you get beyond Lanercost. But as we walk through this field, you can see the earthen embankments that would have been part of the Hadrian's Wall defences. So there are signs still here of where the wall would have ran. Maybe defensive ditches over there as well. So if you look carefully, there are signs of the wall. So just behind me you can just make out the northernmost limits of the Pennines. So the Pennine range that goes all the way down to the Midlands, to Derbyshire and Staffordshire, and very close to where I am now is Carlisle Airport. I can just make out the control tower over there. So I'm not sure if this camera will pick it up, but we're looking southwest there towards the Lake District Fells. If I turn the camera around, there are the Pennines, and here on this sign is a marker to the village of Walton, which is 2.5 miles away, and that's my destination for today, so it's good to know it's not far. It's a beautiful afternoon, probably about another hour before sunset, and I'm only 2/3 of a mile from Walton, which is where this walk ends. But then once I get to Walton, I'm going to have to try and find out how I can get back to Carlisle, because I'm not carrying on with this journey beyond today. So Walton is a tiny little village. I don't know if there's any buses running through the village. I suspect probably not. So once I get to Walton, it'll be a case of getting the phone out and trying to work out what the best way is to get home. So here we are at Walton, come across another old bus stop which has been turned into a little library. Again, loads of books here to show you what they've got. And just across the road we've got the church. But what I need to now find out is whether there's any way of getting back to Carlisle. I suspect there isn't, so I'm probably going to have to now try and walk down to Brampton, which is quite a journey, so time to get the phone out and work out where I go from here. So the church is locked, but I'll just show you the view from the bottom of the graveyard. It really is a beautiful spot, beautiful view looking over Cumbria and towards Northumberland. So Walton is an attractive little village. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have any public transport, so I'm now making my way to Brampton along the road. Brampton is 3 miles away and is a town not far from Carlisle, so once I get into Brampton, which will take me about an hour to get there, I'm hoping I'll be able to find a bus that will take me back into Carlisle. There is also the option of going to this railway station in Brampton. The only problem with that is that the railway station is a mile or two outside of the town, so to get to the station is going to probably take me about 2 hours. So I think the bus from Brampton would be the best option, but we'll see what the options are once I get there.